Hey everyone, it's Jenna from Canadian Beats Media. I'm joined today by Montreal-based Willows for our latest segment of Zoomies. Hey, how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So first off, I would like you to introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay. So my name is Genevičve Toupin. I was born and raised in Manitoba. I live in Montreal now. I'm a singer-songwriter, Red River Métis, raised in a French-speaking family. I write in both French and in English under my solo project name, Willows.
Okay. So you released your new album, Maison last Friday.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the writing process behind the release?
Well, the writing process was fairly long. I worked on it for, I would say, probably about 4 or 5 years, and had been thinking about how to write it for years before. Um, and so it was a long process that where I did a lot of research into my family history, and just also spending a lot of time talking to my family, to my grandma, to my mom, and different members of my family, and just kind of thinking about how to write these songs that are about the women in my family, and also about my own experience as a woman, throughout different time periods and
Mhm.
up to today. So yeah.
You surrounded yourself with various creative musicians on this release. Care to elaborate on who you worked with and what the experience was like?
Yeah, I was really fortunate to work with an amazing team of musicians and creative people throughout the whole process. The album was recorded mostly in Montreal, with Pierre Girard, who did the mix and all of the recording aspect of it. Joseph Marchand, who produced the album. And I also did some recording in Manitoba, Joël Perrault, who did the sound out there for the session out there.
Mhm.
Um, and then in terms of musicians, I played with, there was Robbie Kuster, who played drums and percussion, Émilie Proulx, who played bass on most tracks, Ben Maurier, who played bass on double bass on one song, Pierre Girard, who, as well as mixing and engineering, also played bass on a tune. And then I had a bunch of singers who came and sang with me: Nadia Bernstick, Dominic Reynolds in Manitoba, and in Montreal, Chloé Lacasse, Soleil Launière, Annick Brémaud, and also Joseph Pirot, who produced and also sang a little bit on the album as well. And Alexandre Tétrault, who played some violin, some métis fiddle on a few songs. Uh, I really hope I'm not forgetting anyone. François Lafontaine, who played some synths as well. So yeah, really well surrounded for the recording part. And then I wrote most of it myself, but also co-wrote a few songs with Chloé Lacasse, Émilie Proulx, and Sébastien Lacombe.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
lots of names. Lots of great people, very talented people. Yeah.
So you're set to hit the stage at the National Arts Centre in Ottawa on June 3rd. What can
Yeah.
people expect from your live performance?
I'm super excited to be playing this show in Ottawa. It's a brand new show that we just I worked on, actually, in the past month and a half. We put together the show. We'll be playing all of the songs, pretty much all the songs from the new album Maison, and also songs from my EP called The Hills that I put out during the pandemic. And because it was pandemic, didn't get to play those songs live very much, so we slipped them into the show. And so we'll be playing trio also with Émilie Proulx, who played the bass with me, and a drummer who'll be with us as well, who are still, we're still confirming who that will be for the date, but it'll be great. I'm super excited to be playing these tunes live. Yeah.
Awesome. Describe your sound in 3 words.
Ah. Oh, good question. My sound, I would say indie folk, singer songwriter, if that counts as one, because there's a dash between, and intimate. Yeah.
So the next 5 questions are just for fun. What was the first concert you ever attended
Good question.
or that
Um,
you remember attending?
yeah, that's a really good question. The first concert, oh my God. Oh, I think the one that comes to mind, and it's probably not the first concert, but amongst the first concerts. I was really into musical theater when I was a kid. So I remember going to see Les Mis, and I
Okay,
went to see that many times, and I loved it every time.
awesome. Who was the first Canadian artist to catch your attention growing up?
Sarah McLachlan.
For sure.
Uh,
What's your favorite thing about springtime?
the sun in Montreal, there's suddenly way more sun. I love it.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's your go-to social media platform?
Right now it's Instagram. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like the photos and the artwork that you can see. Yeah.
Totally. And with Easter coming quick, what's your favorite sweet treat?
Chocolate. Any kind of
I
chocolate.
know,
Milk
I know.
chocolate. So good.
All right. So thank you for joining me for Zoomies. It's been fun learning about you, and congratulations on the album.
Thank you. Thanks for the fun questions.